Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Trespit here, and today I'm bringing another commentary video. I was kind of debating on what story I wanted to actually tell you guys, and so I figured I'd tell you guys a story about how I got into my first fight. I think my first fight was in middle school. I was probably about in 7th, maybe 8th grade. I think it was between 7th and 8th grade, somewhere in there. I mean, obviously. It was somewhere between 7th and 8th grade. I want to say it was 7th grade. I was starting out young, evidently. Anyway, I was I was probably about 11, maybe 12 at the time. Anyway, one of my best friends in the world, John, he was kind of a bigger guy. And so he kind of got made fun of a lot. And for the most part, he just kind of brushed it off. He really didn't care. You know, words were kind of words for him. And he was just like, all right, whatever. They're just words. Who cares? But anyway, so this one day, I forgot what this kid's name was. He was, I don't know, we'll call him Ricky. Why not? And so Ricky was like the biggest bully probably in like my grade. And the way that my school worked was basically I'd get to school really early in the morning before they'd actually open the doors, and I'd sit outside in like the seating area because they had like sitting like little benches and shit like that right outside the door. And so I'd be sitting outside in that area just hanging out with friends and stuff like that, waiting for school to begin. My parents both went to school, so my parents, I think one of them normally dropped me off, but a lot of times I lived like a mile away from school, so I just walk. It was no big deal. So I just walk, and I normally walk with my buddy of mine, Alex, who he and I live like right down the street from each other, so we normally walk together all the time. Anyway, so I was sitting outside, and for the most part, you know, like middle schoolers are middle schoolers. They're pretty stupid. But, you know, middle schoolers will say things and whatever, and it's no big deal. Anyway, so John, back to the moral of the story. He was sitting on a bench one day, and like I said, he was kind of a bigger guy, especially for being in middle school. He was kind of a bigger dude. And so for the most part, like I said, he wouldn't really care if people called him names or whatever. He'd just kind of brush it off and go. Anyway, so Ricky, this kid, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, he had a bug up his ass this day. And so he decides, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to just piss John off. Don't know why. I don't know if someone dared him or if he was just had a stick up his ass, or I don't know. No idea. Anyway, so he starts calling John all these names and shit like that, and John's just, you know, whatever, he's brushing it off because he doesn't care. Eventually John said screw it, and he got up and he walked to the other side, because we were on the side of the school and there was like a front part of the school where the buses dropped off. So he was going to walk over there and wait over there so that he could go inside and basically just remove himself from the situation completely, which smart move on his part. But Ricky, being, you know, the little shitbag chihuahua that he was, decided he wasn't going to give up that easily. He decided, all right, well, I'm going to just hound this kid until I eventually get some kind of a reaction out of him. So anyway, so he's following John. John's walking away, and he's following him, and he's just calling him names and calling him names. Well, eventually John stops, and he's like, you know, hey, why the fuck are you bothering me? Like, I didn't do anything to you. What's wrong with you? You know, just call him out on his shit because he's being a little dick rag. I was kind of out of earshot at this moment, but I could see the situation unfolding. Something had been said. John had said something to Ricky, and Ricky, I guess, had gotten really pissed, and he had like one of his little dickwad friends with him as well, who I had no idea what his name was, and I didn't really care. Anyway, so Ricky decided, all right, cool, fuck it, I'm gonna push John in this bush, and he shoved the shit out of him, and John fell over. I mean, he fell into the bush. Like, this bush, you know, wasn't gonna, you know, hold any form of weight whatsoever. You know, needless to say, John's weight, just because, you know, again, he was a bigger dude. And so, you know, the bush collapsed. John fell over on his ass. You know, Ricky started making fun of him. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I've had enough. Because, you know, once I saw that, I was fucking done. You know, I threw off my backpack. So I decked the fuck out of this kid. And, you know, for a 12-year-old, I mean, it's not like I hit super hard or anything like that. But, you know, for a 12-year-old, I thought, I put in everything. I put full force into this punch. Well, I hit him, and he fell on his ass, obviously. He fell off on the floor. Or on the ground, I guess, on the grass. And so I stood there. His friend started coming at me. Eventually John got up. His friend, like, you know, walked over, whatever, and like went to go help Ricky up and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there ready, like, you know, I'm shaking from adrenaline. This is pretty much like the first fight I've ever been in, real fight at least. You know, I'm shaking from adrenaline. You know, my fists are all clenched. I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to do this. And, you know, obviously an AP comes out because there's bus drivers coming around dropping kids off because it's still before school. So bus drivers are dropping people off and whatever. And so one of the bus drivers goes and probably gets the AP and then runs over to us. But anyway, they brought us into the counselor's office, or the front office, not the counselor's, but like the front office area or whatever. And, you know, they had us sit in the bench, and they separated us on different sides of the room. And they're like, we're going to call your parents and blah blah blah, whatever, and it was whatever. Like, I knew my parents wouldn't really care. Yeah, I'd probably get like suspended for the day or whatever, but I knew my parents wouldn't really care all that much, just because I was standing up for a friend of mine, and I knew my dad was all about like family and stuff like that growing up, and I knew that he would understand. Like, I was just doing what was right. I mean, yeah, maybe I didn't go about it the right way, but I was just defending a friend of mine, somebody who I cared about, and I wasn't gonna take that shit any longer. So anyway, yeah, like, my mom came by and picked me up. I think they did actually suspend me for like the day or whatever, or maybe it was like 2 days or something like that. But eventually, they figured out the actual story of what happened, because they were actually going to send us both to the Rock and not really care. And I told my mom, I was like, hey, look, this is what happened. And even John tried to get involved and got his mom involved and was like, hey, look, like, this is what happened. He was just trying to defend me. Ricky was the one that came at me first. He was just defending, and that's all I really was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it felt really good to beat his ass, but I wouldn't say beat his ass, but it felt really good to deck him for sure. 100%, it felt really fucking good to deck this kid. They did send Ricky to the Rock for like, I want to say it was like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and basically what it was you'd still go to school, but you'd go to like the school for bad kids, more or less, is what it was. He came back and he was mean mugging the shit out of me for like a couple days after he got back, because he knew, like, I knew he wanted to fight me again. I mean, 100% I knew he wanted to fight me. Needless to say, nothing really happened after that. I guess he kind of forgot about it, or maybe he found somebody else to make fun of or whatever, or maybe he was just maybe he was scared or just didn't want to get involved with it anymore. I know he's kind of the troublemaker, and so maybe like if he got involved again, they were like gonna like suspend him from school completely or expel him or whatever. And so his parents probably told him, like, hey, don't get in fights or whatever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed today's story. I've got some more coming in. Sorry for taking so long to get this one out there. I actually wanted to make this video last week, but I don't know. I guess I made other videos instead. Decided not to. Also, I will be putting out some more Black Ops 3 gameplay and some highlight reels and stuff like that. So definitely peep those. If you did like the video, don't forget to leave a like, and also drop me a comment down below. Let me know any fights that you guys have been into, what happened, who won. Don't forget to subscribe, become a homie today, and keep up to date with all my videos. Again, I do upload every Wednesday and Sunday. I'm looking to add a third day, and it looks like content-wise, I'll be able to do that pretty easily. Work's kind of settled down a little bit, so I can kind of focus a little bit more on this. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit me up on Twitter. I just reached over 500 followers, which is really cool. And I'm getting really close to 100 subs on YouTube. Can't wait. I really want to do a giveaway video. Hit that sub button. Get me up to 100 so I can get you guys some free shit. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Later. Peace.